Hello friends, welcome back. In this tutorial we will study about physical layer. Physical layer is the lowest layer of the OSI model. In previous tutorial we studied about OSI model. So the physical layer is the lowest layer of the OSI model, and it coordinates all the functions which are required to carry a bit stream over a physical medium. Now what happens, this physical layer is responsible of movements of individual bits from one node to the next. So we will study about the functions of physical layer. What are the functions of physical layer and what are the responsibilities of the physical layer? So first is the representation of bits. What happens in physical layer, data consists of a stream of bits, and for transmission these bits must be encoded into signals, right? What happens in physical layer, data consists of a stream of bits, and for transmission these bits must be encoded into signals. So the physical layer defines the type of encoding, right? So the physical layer defines how these zeros and ones are changed into signals. Next is transmission rate. The physical layer defines the transmission rate, right? So what is the transmission rate? The transmission rate is the number of bits sent per second, right? So the physical layer defines the transmission rate. And what is the transmission rate? Transmission rate is the number of bits sent per second. Now the another responsibility of a physical layer is synchronization, right? Physical layer deals with the synchronization of sender and receiver at bit level, right? So what happens, actually the sender and receiver must be synchronized at bit level. So in other words, we can say that the sender and the receiver clocks must be synchronized. So what happens, this physical layer, it deals with the synchronization of the sender and receiver at bit level. Another is line configuration. So what is this line configuration? What happens, the physical layer deals with the connection of device to the media, right? And in a point-to-point configuration, two devices are connected through a dedicated link, and in a multi-point configuration, a link is shared among several devices. About point-to-point and multi-point configuration we have already studied in previous tutorials, right? So what happens, the physical layer deals with the connection of devices to media, right? Another is transmission mode, right? So what happens in a transmission mode? The physical layer, it also defines the direction of transmission between two devices, right? Like simplex, half duplex and full duplex, right? So the another responsibility of physical layer is that physical layer defines the direction of transmission, right? It could be simplex, half duplex or full duplex. About simplex, half duplex or full duplex we have already studied in previous tutorial, right? Now another responsibility of physical layer is physical topology, right? The physical layer is also concerned with physical topology. And what is the physical topology? The physical topology defines how devices are connected to make a network, like mesh topology, star topology, a ring topology and a bus topology, right? So we will study in detail about the physical layer, its functionality, right, its responsibilities. So we will study in detail also, but later, right? In another tutorials, in separate tutorials we will study about the physical layer and its functionality in detail, right? It is just only for introduction.